Will there be many horses in it? Or you'll be the only one?
3 or 4 teams of horses.
Aye.
The buck will be in it with the bullocks.
The bullocks?
Aye, they'll find it over here at Kilmovee. Who's giving out the platform?
You trail here now in a few minutes.
What's your name?
Coleman Cogan is my name.
Where are you from, Colin?
I'm from the other side of the county, Kilmovee,
Aye.
to Mayo.
And how long have you been ploughing with horses?
About 7 years.
Oh, is that all?
That's
Yeah.
all.
How did you get into that?
Now I got fed up with tractors noise
Fed up with noise and breakdowns.
and breakdowns. No, it's a hobby. That's what it is now. It's a hobby. I always liked the big horse. No, they're shires. Shire Drafts. I bought him a foal. He was only 4 months old when I bought him, and your man had to hold him till Christmas for me. And
Where did you get him? Did you get him here? Or?
no, I bought him that in England.
Yes.
You wouldn't get. Well, there is an odd fella breeding them here now in the last 4 or 5 years. There's a fella up in outside Dublin breeding them, up in Lusk.
Yes.
He's McCarrick is his name. An oldish man. He was at the vegetables and he retired.
Yes.
And he was mad about the big horses, and he got 4 or 5 mares and a stallion. And I seen where he went back to a show in England this year and showed his stallion horse in it.
Ah.
I was always mad. My father worked them now. He actually had 2 teams of horses. He always kept 4 working horses. That's what he'd done for a living.
Yes.
And there was a place down, I came from County Sligo, and there was a place down there beside the railway station in the town of Boyle. There were candons and there were wholesalers. And all the stuff came, say, on the train into the station, and he looked after 6 small shops out the country.
Yeah.
So he drove in with a dray, what they call a dray, a 4-wheel dray, and he'd take out 3 ton, 4 ton,
Aye.
and he delivered to the shops on his way home. And he done that for a living. He done it from 1930 to 1962, and in CIE done away with that. Well, the government, you had to have a licensed in to haul.
Yeah.
And they done away with to put a tractor doing it in.
Aye.
CIE took it over, they wouldn't allow you work. So he used to plough and mow and do all the farm work, and he'd do it for 20 or 30 neighbours around him as well.
Aye. So you grew up with all that going
I grew
on?
up, I tell you, I actually never ploughed, but I would have led them, and I would have been sent out to sow oats with them.
Yeah.
A harrow, walk after a harrow.
Yes.
And I was only maybe 9 or 10 at the time. But I love the way a horse will do everything you want him to do. A horse is like the dog. If he likes you, he'll never disappoint you.
Aye.
He'll do everything. If I asked him, walk on, stop, anything I say, whoa to them, they'll stop straight away. They're very obedient.
And is it hard to get them to team up together or work together, or is that?
Well, I was lucky. The chap I bought the foal off, he says his friend had a nice 1.5 year old, and he said we'd go down the following morning to see him. As soon as I seen him, I fell in love with him.
Yeah.
And I bought him, and I trained them. They were together then. They're the best of pals.
Oh,
They
good,
Never
yeah.
will. Now, they never will bite at each other or anything.
Yeah.
If you let them out in the field, they start grooming each other and spend an hour at it.
Aye.
You know, they're the best of pals, and they know their names. And when I ask him, say this lad is Ted now, that tall lad.
Yes.
And if I ask him to come round, he'll turn to the left. And if I ask the other fella to come round, he'll turn to the right.
Oh.
So like
Yes.
they know what I'm saying, and when
Yes.
I tell them what to do, they know what to do. When I go ploughing now, if you watch them, everything I tell him to do, he'll do it.
And what age are they now?
He's he will be 8 years in the May, and the other chap will be 9 years. The middle of this, the 15th of this month.
Aye.
He's 9 years.
And how long did it take them to get kind of handy? To be 4 or 5 or 6?
Yeah, I tell you, they don't develop. They're very slow. That horse, I worked him from 1.5 years old.
Yes.
But I only done light work with him. But I was very disappointed. He was swinging his hind legs very bad, and he was wearing outside the shoes. But as he developed, now he's walking perfect.
Yes.
And he's able to. He never. When I started training him first, he used to stumble. He'd sort of trip himself.
Yes.
Jeez, I thought I have to get rid of this fella. He's going to do no good. And no, I see every year he was getting that little bit better, and now he never stumbles.
Yeah.
And he when he's walking, he throws his hind legs perfect under him.
Yeah.
Before that, he used to sort of swing it. He had a big long back, and he'd be swinging his hind legs when he'd be walking.
Yeah.
The other guy sort of developed very quick. He was good as a 2-year-old.
Yes.
But this fella took him. Yeah, I suppose he was so tall. He's 19'1".
Oh, is he that size?
19'1". What height are you?
Actually, I'm fairly tall, too.
You're 6 foot, over 6 foot.
Yeah.
Well,
I wouldn't like to be trying to get up on him.
Well, he's easy to handle and easy to get up with. A real gentleman.
Yes.
He wouldn't. He's easy to get up on and easy to ride. He wouldn't do you no harm whatsoever.
And what age would you be able to work them till?
Well,
What age would you be able to compete
a horse
with?
is like a person. If they're well looked after and well, the most important thing with horses is keep their feet well and keep their teeth well. You have to keep their mouth looked after.
Yeah, keep their mouth good, yeah.
Aye, keep their mouth good and feed them well.
Yes.
What happens a lot of horses in the past, I suppose, was they might get a bit of starvation, and if they do, it holds them, their stomach goes wrong.
Yes.
Now, look, I do always say it's like a man that get a woman that wouldn't be so good at cooking, he mightn't make it too long. But a horse, if he's well looked after, you'll knock a lot of work out of him.
Yeah, yeah.
My father used to knock up to 30 years out of him. Did retire a horse around 25 or 26 years.
And keep him for a few handy jobs,
There was
maybe.
a fella in the north. He was up in the north and he was ploughing, and he had a horse 36 years.
Oh, go away.
And he used to plough in competition with him.
Uh,
You see, he looked after him well, like, you know, and but he done along. He was a cobby horse, like an Irish cob, they called him. He was
yeah,
only
handy
15
size of a
too.
lad, yeah. That's right, them big horses would be hard on themselves over time.
But they would be the horses they used going back in England. They wouldn't have that many of them in Ireland. The Clydesdale is a shade smaller, but they didn't have the real big horse. But when they were going out to plough in England, they ploughed 9 hours a day.
Yes,
And
yes.
that was, so like a small horse wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, our old cobs are handy there for small fields
That's
and
right,
small jobs.
Small
and-
jobs, but
yeah.
he wouldn't be able to keep the pace, like, you know.
Yeah, they wouldn't be
Them
the workhorse.
guys now, if you get it opened, you plough an acre, no bother in a day with them.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be all day ahead now.
Yeah.
You know, if you get a long stretch in the field, your tractor wouldn't go any faster ploughing.
Aye.
You know, to be only bringing the one through. But in England, when they ploughed with them horses, say on big farms, they ploughed with 2 for a ploughs.
Yeah.
But they had 3 horses pulling them.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Once you get them trained, and after 3 days working, then it's away. You're
Yeah.
gone, you're flying.
Well, and the other thing, I suppose, when a horse ploughing all day, he'd really get into the hang of it.
Oh, he would.
Yeah.
He'd know what, and he'd know everything you want him to
Yeah.
do. I done a job there Friday evening with them now. I made 4 ridges for a fella.
Yes.
And they were about 60 yards long. But I had done it, I had tried doing it before, and you know, look, I seen it done when I was a little lad, but I had forgot. So, like, say you went down the field there now and you opened the sod up along the ditch there. Well, you backed that sod in on your way down, you backed up again, you walked the horse at the back of the sod and you put sod up again it.
Yes.
But then what you do, you turn around to your left and you leave, say if you're doing 2 8-inch sods or 2 9-inch sods, you leave 18 inches and you off a hinton, they call it. So you let your small wheel down on the furrow and you run up along and you leave 18 inches of a hinton in the middle. So you turn around to your left at top and you put up 1 sod again. You're making a 4 sod ridge. So you put up 1 sod again that.
Yes.
And you turn around at top then and you put the other sod up again the other side, so you have a furrow left in the middle.
Yeah.
So you make a 4 sod ridge. But once you have the first one done, the horses would know then what you want them to do.
Oh, they know what the program is
And
today.
and they're gone into the furrow without any trouble. Like when you were working them, they'll know exactly what you want them to do.
Oh, yeah, that's brilliant.
Horses, they have a great brain. I always said, like, if you have a dog and you're fond of a dog, he'll nearly do anything.
He
for
give you that bit
Horses
extra,
would do
yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
And one thing they don't, a horse, in my experience anyway, a horse hates noise.
Aye.
They hate noise
Aye.
and they hate people shouting loud. The best time you get out of a horse is when you're whispering to him. He's a great hearing.
Aye.
Yeah. He'll hear things that you and me would never hear. They say, I don't know, but they say that a horse sees you 5 times taller than you are. in his eye,
Right.
and that's why he'll always go away from something that he doesn't. But if he knows you, he'll come straight to you.
Yeah.
If he doesn't know you, he won't come.
Mm.
But like that's why people want to walk up to them. If they come, if they stand for a second, the horse gets to smell them or gets to.
Yeah, give him a second.
If,
Yeah,
if
give him
he walks
chance.
in in a hurry to him or into the side of him, the horse will go away from him. He doesn't want any surprises like.
How's it going?